Good evening, and welcome to today's edition of Keeping It Real with Rammona. Today, I have with me Utkarsh Benara, my very special guest on my conversation series. Hi, Utkarsh.
Hello,
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you. I'm so happy to have you here. Thank you so much for taking the time out to be on Keeping It Real with Ramona. I'm just going to spend a couple of minutes introducing Utkarsh. So Utkarsh is 18 years old and he studies in grade 12. He's someone who, at the age of 14, was detected with cancer when he was in grade 9, and he was actually studying in the hills in a hostel. Utkarsh is someone who is a joy seeker, and he's an upcoming motivational speaker. He's someone who actually spends a lot of time encouraging other people who might be going through anything difficult to always look on the bright side of things. So he is a young man who's very optimistic, he's very empathetic, he's strong willed, he's determined, and he has a very kind heart. His hobbies include playing sports like athletics, table tennis, which he's played till the state level. He represented Himachal Pradesh, and basketball, cricket, trekking, a lot of outdoor stuff, trekking, traveling, exploring nature, singing, and dancing. He's also very fond of animals. His passion, though, is to really help and support people. So his optimism has actually helped him emerge as a very emotional and strong person. With his survival skills and die-hard optimism, he feels that he is someone who can give a ray of hope to many teenagers. And battling with a fatal disease like cancer, with that, he's actually, in spite of being diagnosed with it, going through the treatment, he's managed to live life on his own terms. And I think that he's someone who hopes that teenagers will look up to him. And I think it's not just teenagers; it's anyone who's going through anything at all in life. They can draw a lot of inspiration from him to actually live life to the fullest till they are alive. So I think this is something that you shared with me, and I was very moved by that. You said that live life to the fullest till we are alive. I think that's so
Yeah,
important.
right.
In our everyday life, we forget that. We get so caught up in whatever problems or issues we have that we stop enjoying whatever it is that we already have in our life. He's faced death so closely that the desire to live to the fullest is deeply engraved in his heart and mind. So the sight of hopelessness, despair, pessimism on the face of anyone disturbs him, and his deepest aspiration is to bring hope in the life of people by giving them a small reason to smile and love life. So basically, Utkarsh wants to narrate his journey through the trials and tribulations that he's been through, so that anyone else who is going through a difficult time is able to have someone real to look up to. So, Utkarsh, thank you again so much for being here. I think, the fact that you're working at developing these conversations and connections with individuals, with teenagers, with cancer patients, to make people more determined to lead a happier life, to develop what you call a super will, so that, that's a super will to overcome anything and be happy no
Right.
matter what. I think that's just beautiful, and it's just so important. So thank you for being that energy in our world today. So Utkarsh, I wanted to maybe start by asking you to share that how did you get detected when you were in grade 9? If you are
Yeah.
all right talking about that, if
Yes.
you can share
Uh,
that with me.
yeah. So I was in hostel in Bishop Cotton School, Shimla. I was really sporty, and I like I'm really fond of athletics.
Okay.
So I participated in many events, and like and I got selected in many events. I was really happy
Okay.
about it. But then I could see, like, I was eating not much, but I was more focusing on my athletics part and
Uh-huh.
running and everything, which
Okay.
yeah, which made me a bit like weak. And after that, uh, because of that, I went to the infirmary in the hostel, and I felt really weak. I had to eat medicines and all. But later the part was, we had like, it was like eight summer breaks,
Uh-huh.
And then I met my parents because
Okay.
they had to come because I was getting a good conduct award, and I was
Uh-huh.
really happy to see them after a long
Okay.
time. Yeah.
All right.
uh,
Yeah.
uh, uh, and then we through car we went back to Chandigarh to catch a flight back to Delhi. So there, that was the time I got my first cramp in my leg, and that
Okay.
was pretty hard and
Okay.
tough.
Okay. So you got this cramp. So you basically shared so far that you were basically focusing on what any other kid at your age would be doing, on
Yeah,
whether
yeah,
it's your studies. You were very outdoorsy, very you were a
yeah,
sportsman, and you were getting these awards. You came home, and during the journey back there was like a cramp that you got. So that is
yeah,
kind of your first the first bit that you found out that there was something going on with your body,
right,
right?
right.
So what happened next?
Next, I came back from Delhi to Agra. Everything was good. I was feeling fine, but later I went for swimming and played squash with my dad. And
Ah,
after that, after
yeah.
some days, he went to Korea, and I was with my mom. After
Okay.
some days, I did not feel to go anywhere. I felt really low, and
Uh-huh.
like my left and right hand wouldn't go up ways, and like I was like feeling so low that I did not want to go eat somewhere and out,
Uh-huh.
and I was just in the
Okay.
bed. And yeah, so we got some tests done, but
Yeah.
nothing was major detected,
Mhm.
and I was feeling all fine.
Okay. So you felt better. So you had some issue where you weren't able to move your hands,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
then you got some tests, nothing really came out of it, and then
hmm,
after some time you felt better.
yeah,
But obviously there was some issue that continued, that led
yeah,
your family to go ahead and do a deeper investigation, right?
yeah. So yeah, so after that, I came to Delhi, and in Delhi, in Sir Gangaram Hospital, my father came back from Korea, my mom and my dad were like they. So I had many tests out there because it's a really good hospital, and they took time to check what's happening for 3 or 4 days. They got to know that I have something in
Okay.
my body, but
Yeah.
they did not tell me because I would be surprised or shocked, something like that. They kept it
Yeah.
within themselves, and I was really happy and I was feeling all good because I thought I have nothing and I'm all fine, I'm normal. But
Yeah.
yeah, but later, my father just spoke to me, and I was like, I am normal, and I don't know what's happened, and I am normal. So
Okay, so you're saying that even though your father did share with you that you were
yes,
afflicted with cancer, you felt
yeah,
like you were normal, there's nothing
normal,
wrong with
yeah,
me.
yes,
Yeah,
yeah,
okay,
hmm,
all right, yeah,
right,
okay.
and yeah,
So there are a couple of comments here already. I thought I'll just quickly share them. Isha says, wow, Utkarsh, you're very inspiring and brave. And one second. Arjun says, hi, Utkarsh, you're quite a rock star. And Samara says, I'm so proud of you for sharing your story. So, Utkarsh, I don't want to get into the details of it,
yeah,
but the
sure,
fact is that you were pretty young.
hmm,
You were just how old were you? I think you were in grade 9 at that point of time. So you were 14
yeah,
years
right,
old, I believe. So
yeah, right,
even though you found out that you were afflicted with cancer, a lot of people get really blown away by that. But I
right,
mean, I'm amazed that at that young age
hmm,
you had so much wisdom to actually feel and tell yourself, no, I'm okay, I'm all right.
right,
That
yeah,
is absolutely incredible. And I think that is one of the key ways that anyone,
hmm,
whatever we're experiencing, especially if we're experiencing something which is related to our health,
right,
that
hmm,
power of positivity, of actually telling ourselves that no matter what, I'm fine, I'm
yes,
going to be fine. I think
yeah,
it goes a long way, because we may have
hmm,
medicines, we may meet doctors, we may get different treatments, but if from within that willingness to get better or be fine is not there,
Yeah.
then a lot of times those treatments don't work as well.
Right.
So I wanted to
That's
just commend
important.
you on that was really, really incredible. So obviously after that you went through a journey of
Yeah.
treatments. So I believe you had some treatment in India, and then your
Yes.
family decided to take you overseas.
Yeah.
So would you be willing to share a little bit about that?
Yeah, right. So, not much was happening in Delhi, and the doctors told me that you have to go to USA, and my dad just took the decision and talked to like people like, and they also told just have to go to USA, and there you'll find a better treatment, a very good treatment actually, and there you'll be all set, and you'll come out stronger. So yeah.
Okay. So you went ahead and you got some treatment in the US, I believe.
Yeah.
And so, how was that experience? Tell me a little bit about the doctors and the nurses you
Yes.
encountered there.
Yeah, so the hospital name was UCSF,
Yeah.
where all the nurses and all the doctors are so helping, and they don't let the patients feel any pain. It was not like a hospital. Their hospitality was so good. It was like a
So sweet.
playing, like it was like they had all the games like Xbox and like a playing room where I did not feel anything. I was just busy with playing games and interacting with like sometimes the nurses like what's going on and like
Yeah.
what's happening, which injection or like which treatment they are giving, and they were all open to me, and
Uh-huh.
I was really happy to go out there, and I got a chance to be treated out there, and I'm really
Okay.
thankful to my parents who supported me along the way.
Okay. I found that adorable when you said that you were in a hospital, but it didn't feel like a hospital, and their hospitality was amazing. So again, it's like, about our perspective, Utkarsh. It's like about how we view things, how we look at things.
Yeah, right.
So, it's incredible that at such a young age, like I said, you've had that wisdom, you've had that sort of, uh, willingness to look at things in a different way and actually emerge, stronger from the experience. Because instead of getting into like the wrongness of the situation or questioning why me, or, why is this
Yes,
happening
right.
with me,
Hmm.
or, you know, any of those things that most people would do,
Hmm.
you
Yeah, right.
actually throughout been focusing on what is right with what's
Hmm.
happening with you.
Hmm.
So that's actually really, really incredible. So then you were in the US for, I think, almost a year
Yeah,
getting your
right.
treatment done there,
Hmm.
right?
Yes.
And so I have another comment here from Naira. She says, so proud, keep shining. So I will just continue to share a few comments as they come in, Utkarsh. So while you were there in the US, there were other things that you were doing apart from going through the treatment regimen,
Yeah.
right? So do you want to share a little bit about
Sure, sure.
that with us? What were the things
Hmm.
you were doing apart
Uh,
from getting the
so
treatment?
so I had a treatment for an year, but the thing was, like
Yeah.
my parents really supported me, and they did not think as if I did not think as if it was a treatment, because with them it was like a fantasy journey where I would like go for the road trips, eat food that I like pizza and all,
Hmm.
and it was really nice journey where I went to Lake Tahoe and many different places. Also, I went to amusement parks. That's my
Okay.
favorite like adventure types to go on roller coasters, and I really like them. And they never made me feel that I have something or other. I also felt really happy, and every pastime we used to go here and there and somewhere joyful, and they never let me think that if I have anything, and I also was really normal and nothing bothered me a lot.
Okay, that's wonderful. I mean, it's great, to have parents like that who are so supportive. And obviously, I can understand that a lot of the positivity in you, a lot of the optimism, a lot of the always trying to look at the brighter side, the joy in life is something you've learned from your parents as well. So,
Yeah,
I think a lot of gratitude to your parents that they helped you along this journey, not
hmm.
only by actually
Right.
supporting you with the treatment and
Yes.
all of that, but actually being there for you and making you do all these other interesting things that, obviously kept your mind occupied and also helped you kind of lead a life which is more sort of, the kind of things a teenager would be
Yeah.
doing. So you also took some guitar lessons there, I
Yeah.
believe, right? So tell me
Yeah.
about that.
So in the past time, I used to go for the guitar lessons and also see all the kids like teaching each other guitar. And I had a teacher who was really helpful and like who was very calm and like compassionate towards me. Despite
Uh-huh.
having anything, my parents allowed me to go and learn guitar. Sometimes I go alone in Uber, and like it
Yeah.
was really good, and I
That must
learned
have
a
been
bit of
fun.
guitar. Yeah, that was
Yeah,
really
that
fun.
must have been fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Samara asked a question here. How are you so positive? What inspires you to look at the best in every situation? So, if you
Uh,
can, talk to us about that. How are you so positive and what's inspired or inspires you to look at the best in every situation?
yeah. So when when you have such uh, when you have when you think that you have almost uh, like uh, you are like your personality is good, and your character is good, and you almost have uh, like uh, what do you say,
I think you're trying to say, Utkarsh, that basically when you feel that everything overall is good for you,
yeah,
you've got supportive
yes,
family, you're
mm,
basically a good person,
yeah,
so that helps you look on the positive
oh,
side of
yeah,
things
right,
because you
yes,
know that in your heart you are walking on the right path.
yes, right,
Is that what you're trying to say? Do you want to add to that? And also,
yeah,
like she's asked, anything that's inspired you? Has there been a book, or has there been any individual who's
yeah,
inspired you on your way?
yeah, right. So there is a song called Lost Stars by
Okay,
Adam Levine. It says
okay,
like in the song, it's like you have a mission and you have got this life for a mission, and you have come to complete that mission, and everyone is a star out here, and you just have to know what's the mission, and you have to just go for it and through the journey, and you will find it as you
okay,
go with it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, beautiful. I mean, I
Hmm.
think that's very beautiful what you shared from that song, that, each one of us is a star,
Yeah.
and we've got to discover what our mission is.
Is
And now you're 18, but, at a young age, I think you already discovered one of your missions in life is that you want to, inspire people, you want to, lend hope to people, you
right.
want people to look on the brighter side of life and
Yes.
look at what's right about their life versus what's
Hmm.
not working for them. So I think that's very beautiful. I recall you had shared with me that there was a book as well that inspired you, right?
Yes.
Uh, I think, um, which one
Yeah.
was that?
So that was the name of the book. It's it's not about the bike. It's by Lance Armstrong, who had
Okay,
cancer, who also
yeah,
had cancer, and he
he's a
won the
cyclist, right?
yeah, he's a cyclist.
Yeah,
He's a French
yeah,
cyclist who won Tour de France for like 4 or 5 times, and that also gives me a lot of hope and like the positivity he shares. And yeah, so I read that book, and it's like you get to know your potential when you do some things, and
yeah,
till you don't do that and you don't reveal yourself, you won't get to know how much and much more you are. And you have to get to know that your potential is much more than what do you think. So we should never underestimate ourselves and always try to be positive, and and like think what's our potential and how much we can do according to our capabilities.
that's really wise. So Kamal here has shared, you're so brave, Utkarsh, and great inspiration to many. Wishing you the very best. And there is another message here. It's great you had lots of support from family and even at the hospital. Also, you were able to enjoy yourself with so many things to do. That's so cool. And I think what you just said, people have responded to that. Well said when you were talking about, the song that inspired you, as well as, Lance Armstrong's book that, whatever you shared from whatever you gathered from the book. So
Yeah.
thank you so much for talking about that. So, Utkarsh, while you were in the US, I mean, at that young age, like I said,
Yeah.
to kind of undergo this and to be told that this is what, you're experiencing, were there periods where you were scared or, uh, kind of wondering what was going on? You know, was there any fear that came up for you during the treatment time?
So during the treatment time, everything was fine because I was with my mom and dad, and they kept everything cool. We went to so many journeys,
Yeah.
but there was one journey where we went to Lake Tahoe, and
Okay.
yeah, I was with my uncle too, and my mom and dad, and
Okay.
we were on the journey, and in the car we were going to Lake Tahoe, and then I like McDonald's, so I told my parents that I want to stop out there, and
Okay.
I figured it out before reaching out there that my left hand, I was trying to set the AC vent, but
Okay.
my left hand wasn't able to do that.
All
So
right.
I told my parents that yeah, I'm not able to do that. So my mom said that everything's gonna be fine and it's nothing like that. You're all okay and you're all perfect. So you don't need to think about it.
All
And
right.
then in through the journey, we stopped at the McDonald's, and just there, while I was trying to walk out through the car, I couldn't walk out and I couldn't walk. My dad picked me up. My dad picked me up because I wanted to go
Okay.
and pee, and then from there, I and my dad got to know that my left side of the body is type of not functioning,
All right.
and yeah, and so that they detected out, I came back to the car, and my dad picked me and came back to the car after peeing.
Yeah.
Also, through the journey, now my dad decided that we have to now go back. Though I was happy because I was in McDonald's and I got to eat something, but yeah, I was happy. So on the left side, it was not I was not functioning types, but on the right side, I was really happy to
That's so
see
sweet.
to get to eat the McDonald's, and plus see there is a Six Flags Vallejo. It's called
Yeah.
Vallejo, and I
Yeah.
saw the amusement park, and I was so excited now that we'll go there. But we were not going there, but we were going to the hospital. I got to know, but still I was smiling because one day we will go there. As my
I mean,
dad,
that's incredible, Utkarsh. That
yeah,
you're sharing that on this road trip you had when you were in California, going to Lake Tahoe. You had an incident where one side of your body wasn't working. Uh, it maybe was partially sort of not functioning at all.
yeah,
And in spite of that, you were focusing on the fact that you were able to eat a McDonald's meal,
yeah,
and you were looking at the amusement park on the way back, thinking that if
yeah,
not
yeah,
now, you'll come back.
yeah,
Again, that goes to show the power of your character, and how you're obviously always focusing on what's still right with the situation. I think
yeah,
there's a lot that not only teenagers, because that's something you've spoken about, that you feel that you can inspire teenagers. I think you can inspire a lot of adults also,
yeah,
because a lot of us adults also don't look at life in that manner. It's a very, very simple way of looking at things, but it's a very potent way of looking at things. Because if we only focus on what's going wrong in the situation,
yeah,
I found that more things go wrong. But you've got this beautiful quality of actually focusing on, in spite of what you're going through, what's right about the situation. So that's
yeah, yeah.
absolutely brilliant. Ritu Lamba Garkal has said, very inspiring and beautiful thought process. God bless. So thank you for sharing that. But like I said, that's really, really incredible that in spite of what you were going through, you decided to look at what was right for the situation. So I think what was important in what you talked about is that in spite of the fact that you were in the US for treatment,
Right.
you and your family kept the fun element and the joy going
Hmm.
in your life. So I
Yeah,
think that must have been something that must have helped you a lot, right, Utkarsh?
yeah, right.
Okay.
And one
Yeah.
should, yeah, one should always, why to think about like all negatives. One should think about like the right path and like the right things and positivity too. And like if you're trying to get something, or like you and stay positive and go for the right path, and I hope you'll find something positive only in the right thing rather than seeing negatives.
Yeah, that's true. So you've also shared with me, you want to, you'd like people to know that life is beautiful and one should live every moment to the fullest and be happy for everything one has, to enjoy today to the fullest and live in the moment. And this is what you're about, and the message that you want to spread. I think it's a very, very important and a very deep message, Utkarsh, because there are a lot of people who are, going through a lot of difficulties, and sometimes it seems that our problems are the greatest problems in the world, but for everyone, whatever their
Yeah,
unique situation is a difficult situation.
right.
So I think if people started viewing life like this, it would make things easier, for people. And like I said, I believe that the energy that you exude out into the world, if it's one of joy, of having that fun element in your life, of looking at what is right with my life versus what's wrong, then you start welcoming more of those things in your life.
Right,
More
right.
things start working out for you. Better people, situations start showing up for you. So thank you, at this young age, to have that sort of wisdom and to live your life on those terms. Tell me one thing, Utkarsh. You had a couple of changes with school because of
Right.
what you experienced. How was that for you, and how are things for you now?
So yeah, uh, so first of all, I was in Agra. I live in Agra, and
Yeah.
so from there, I went to a hostel in Shimla, Bishop Cotton School, Shimla, and
Okay.
in Agra too, I have a good company with great friends, and they
Okay.
always support me, and
Hmm.
like we have a really good bond. But even going to a hostel was a really enriching experience, where I was like almost you I became an all-rounder. Like I became like self-independent. I could do
Uh-huh.
things on my own, everything actually. All my
Okay.
teachers and everyone supported me and motivated me through everything, and I learned
Okay.
a lot from the hostel. That like never like my teachers never made me think that like they were my parents actually, and they helped me a lot through the way. And after that, taking a break and then going overseas to USA.
Okay.
After that, I came to Delhi, and then I joined Vasant Valley School. uh,
Hmm.
that was really accommodative, and that was really nice of like the best part of Vasant Valley is they were ready, like they can like they took me and also allowed me to not go to school for some time because of my health reasons.
Yeah.
And they were really accommodative towards me. On the first and the second days, I met 2 3 friends, and after getting like after adjusting out there, yeah, so I had one of my best friend who always used to come down, and when I used to have my breakfast, she used to always like help me and like tell me that you have to finish it before I go. And yeah,
Yeah.
and
Okay.
then yeah, so that was,
Okay. So that's great. So even in your new school, I mean, you've been there for a few years now.
yeah.
You've been able to establish, some bonds of friendship. But was it difficult for you leaving the hostel? Because it sounds like you were very happy there, and you
Yeah.
were spending a lot of time doing things that you enjoy there as well. Was that difficult for you, Utkarsh?
Yeah, so it was really difficult for me to leave all of my friends who were a great support, and all
Yeah.
the sports that I loved and played with them. And
Yeah.
I really like really miss them a lot. And it was like always hostel days and the school days are always remembered, and I miss my friends a lot, and they always been there for me forever. And yeah, I want to like give a applause to them who always helped me through the way. and also
How
we had
wonderful.
too much fun also. Yeah.
That's awesome. And tell me, along the way, have there been some sacrifices you've had to make? Because, I mean, I think there were certain things you weren't permitted, in the sense that, there were some restrictions on your diet, also on the type of physical activity you've been allowed. So,
Yeah.
would you be willing to talk to us a little bit about that? What
Uh,
happened and how did you deal with it?
Right. I had to go with a diet where I used to have all the sour things from like uh, like it's called, I don't know the English word, but it's called
That's okay.
yeah, karele ka juice,
Karele ka juice. Yeah.
which was
Yeah.
so sour, but I had to drink it, so
Yeah.
I had to drink it no matter what.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I just drank it for my health, and like yeah, now I can have any sour thing, anything they give me, and like I'll drink it, and because that's for my health, and health is wealth. So
Yeah.
yeah,
So that's bitter gourd juice that you were having,
yeah, right. Hmm.
and so that's really sweet that you said now you can have anything, no
Yeah,
matter how bitter it is. So
hmm.
there were obviously changes in your diet, and there were certain diet restrictions that you've had. What
Right.
about, like, sports and things like that? Is that something you've continued to pursue now?
Yeah, so I still play. So I still play in my pastime and try to play basketball, hockey, table tennis, and
Okay.
yeah, and I still wish I had the same energy, but that doesn't matter because I can play now, and like I'm allowed, and I have like now less restrictions. My mom and my dad allow me to do everything now, and I'm really happy with that. So,
Okay, that's wonderful. I mean, I think sports is something you've enjoyed a lot over the years. So that's really great that you're still able to play certain sports. That's wonderful. So tell me, Utkarsh, like,
yeah.
what is that, you know, one or two things that kept you going over the years?
Uh, it was like um, so actually the friends and the teachers and my parents, my grandparents, like always supported me through everything, and I uh, I am really blessed with everything. Actually, I think I have everything, and actually I don't need anything from, I don't desire anything, and I love my life as it is, and that's the best thing I could ever have, and like yeah.
Thank you so much for sharing that with us. So, if you could sum it up, what is the philosophy that you live by? Of course, I've shared some of the things that you shared with me, but what is the philosophy that you live by, and what are your plans for the future? Like, going forward, what is it that you want to do with life?
Yeah, 1 minute, I'm just, yep. Yeah,
Yeah.
so the philosophy is like I want to give the ray of hope to the people who feel like they're not enough and they're much more than that. They should introspect themselves and feel the potential what they have, and they should reveal it instead of like hiding it, and they should never give up because because they don't know like how much, like much, they are much more than that, and uh and like you should always um, like they're much more than that, and they should not give up at any point of time because nothing is impossible, and one should always strive for a thing that they are trying to get to, and like all goals would be achieved if you stay positive, happy, and it would be with so excellence that yeah, so that would be uh, their reward and achievement what they will get. So yeah.
Yeah. So actually, you're talking about excelling, in whatever place you're right now,
Yeah, right.
whatever you're experiencing, in spite of that, like making the best of the situation, looking for your inner
Yeah,
potential, bringing that out instead of suppressing it.
right.
And that is what's kept you going. And that's what, you'd say that you'd like other people to go
Yeah.
ahead and, live by. So that's beautiful. So, what are your plans for the future? I mean, going forward, what are you planning to study? or what you're planning to do, and tell me a little bit more about this bit that you want to continue inspiring people. So how do you see that journey
Yeah,
going
so first
forward?
of all, I'm thinking of doing philosophy in the college. Plus,
Yeah,
I'm thinking of helping, or like not only the cancer patients, and
yeah,
but the ones who feel who feel even like who feel that they can't do this thing, they give up. But there's nothing
okay.
like that. Anyone can do anything, and they should have a super will and the willpower to be to do something and be determined. And I want to make
Yeah,
them determined too, that their potential is so much that they can do anything they feel like. And
okay.
anyone, actually anyone can do anything if they try to do that. And uh, and it's up to them, they want to take it up or not. But
Yeah,
I would like to inspire them by making them smile, by telling them that their potential is so much, and they should introspect about themselves, and think think what's good in them, and take out the best out of them, and that what's the best they have. So yeah.
okay. All right. So what are you planning to study ahead? Is there something, I know you are a 12th grader now. Is there any particular, path that you are thinking about pursuing going forward?
So it's only so I only decided to study philosophy, and
Okay.
it's only for like helping people, and guiding them, and making them that talking to them, and like making them feel that you should never give up, because there's always there's always a thing, there's always there's always positivity,
Yeah,
and like why should you give up, uh, because you can do it. And there's no point in giving up till you try, and you should try everything no matter what it might
yeah,
be. And till you don't try, you won't get the hang of it, and you won't know what was it and what is it. You should try
yeah,
everything. Yeah, right.
yeah, yeah. Okay, wonderful, wonderful. And there is a poem that you wrote a few years ago.
Right.
Would you be willing to share that with us?
Yeah, right.
I think you were a lot younger when you wrote it, but I think it's an important piece, about your journey, which I would love for you to share.
Yeah, so the song's name is The Song of My Life, and
Okay.
it starts the song of my life is excitingly thrilling. However, people find it quite chilling. When I came into this wonderful world, my parents and family held me to see, as if their life was filled with gold. My big, round, sparkling eyes filled them with glee. The song of my life is excitingly thrilling. However, people find it quite chilling. I slept in a colorful crib, and when I ate, I wore a lovely bib. I was ready with my bag and books. When I laughed, all laughed. When I cried, all cried. The song of my life is excitingly thrilling. However, people find it quite chilling. Now, I was big to go to school with little studies and lots of play. I was happy in school uniform and felt cool. Now the nights were sweeter and the days were gay. I learned all. They called me nerd. My life was full of great excitement. I know everything in the class, what I heard. My parents looked at me with great contentment. The song of my life is excitingly thrilling. However, people find it quite chilling. The, the life took a weird turn. Alas, I was feeling breathless and sinking. Indeed, life cannot be without flaws. Doctor said I am infected with peculiar suffering. Ah, the life changed forever for me. Now, chemo, blood counts, and no friend. My parents and family could not they see. I was in pain but happy with all my wishes they sent. The song of my life is excitingly thrilling. However, people find it quite chilling. There is a hope as hope doesn't die. So I smiled and didn't let the hope fly. Gradually bounced back to life with flying colors. I defeated my suffering with great valor. Each day is full of optimism and hope. I have bravely learned to cope. My
Wow.
parents and family looked at me with glee whenever they find a warrior in me. Whenever they find a warrior in me.
Wow. Incredible, Utkarsh. Thank you so much for sharing your poem. And thank you for your vulnerability, for being willing to talk about, all these experiences that you've gone through at a young age. So I have a few comments here about the poem. Isha says, great poem. Samara says, such an amazing poem. And there's some Kamal sent few hearts. Isha's also said, wish you all the best in life. May all your dreams come true. God bless you with a lot of happiness and good health. And Simran Kahai says, best wishes. So, Utkarsh, I mean, I think that poem was penned a few years ago. And again, I know I'm sounding a little repetitive, but what is actually totally blowing me away is that, that particular, the chorus line. Can you just repeat the chorus line?
Yeah,
Those two
right.
lines, the song of
So
my life.
the song of my life is excitingly thrilling.
Yeah.
However, people find it quite chilling.
So exactly, if you're saying it's thrilling, and anyone else who would hear your story would be scared and be like, "Oh my God, how did he go through all this?" That really, I mean, your poem really reflects exactly how you've been living your life. So I wanted to just say that I think you're an extremely brave person, and where you're saying in the end that you're a warrior, you're a true warrior, and I think that a lot of people have a lot to learn from you. Teenagers, older people, younger people, because uh, you also wrote about the hope, that there's always a hope, and you didn't let
Right,
the hope fly away. I
right,
think that is a key in leading a happy life,
right,
to not let that hope, die, and to really, really, cling on to that hope and work around everything to change whatever difficulty
right.
you're going through. So I think it's a beautiful poem. I wish you all the best, and I do hope that going forward, you take this ahead in terms of actually working with individuals, with
Right.
children, with adults, and spreading your message of hope and joy and positivity, which I think our world really, really requires right now.
Right, right,
And like I was saying earlier, there's a lot of things that people are feeling low about, feeling depressed about. A lot of people
right,
might be having, real difficulties, whether it's financial problems, whether it's health issues, whether it's issues, in their relationships. And to know that, there's always that, light at the end of the tunnel.
right,
And I think, your story shares that so beautifully, that inspire, I mean, enjoy, while you're going through that journey or that difficulty, and things will get better. So I think you've got a very, very important message to share, Utkarsh, and I wish you all the best. Thank you so much for being here today on Keeping It Real with Rammona and sharing your journey with us. And keep shining, keep inspiring people. Thank you, Utkarsh.
Thank you.
Bye bye. Bye, Utkarsh.